Hello, it's Film Frenzy, and I'm finally releasing my top 10 movies of 2017 for you guys today. So, let's get right into it with my number 10 pick. Marshall, the Chadwick Boseman starring biopic about Thurgood Marshall. So, like the tagline says, live hard and fight harder. That's pretty much this movie right here. The theme is about fighting for the hard as you can for what you believe in, and this movie does so greatly. I'm so sad it's being overlooked for all these award shows because I think it's a really different type of biopic because it's like this courtroom drama and it's really awesome. It's actually really hilarious. It has great cast. Sterling K. Brown should be nominated. I think Chadwick Boseman should be nominated. Great script, great drama. It can be a little tonally inconsistent at times, a little light on the heavy matters, but it's so awesome. It's a really unique movie. I love the direction with the flashbacks. And it's just a really fun movie to watch because it makes it kind of like easy to understand this like historical moment, but it's like not too dumbed down. So check out my full review to hear more about the film. Now, number 9, I got Mudbound. This epic about two families, a white and a black family, living side by side as neighbors during the 1940s World War II Mississippi. So this movie was really interesting to watch, and I loved it. This is the definition of an epic. I don't know how D. Reese, who's a great director, used that $10 million budget to make such an awesome movie. Great war scenes, great visuals, superb cast, acting, characters. I love like Jamie and Ronzel, their relationship, how like the war trauma brings them together. Each character represents like a different person in the Deep South, like the extreme racist, the kind of like hidden racist, and like the accepting people. It's just awesome. I love like the songs and the score, the themes on just togetherness of mankind and stuff, and like just kind of like being forward thinking instead of just like being like a sin, doing the past sins. It's just great. I mean, it's a little ambitious and how like they're trying to do a lot of stuff in the film because there's a whole like lot of subplots and they get to most of them, but a little bit of them could have been like elaborated a bit more. At number 8, I have a real shocker, Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle. Yes, I know this is just your average action comedy, but I don't believe so. This movie is hilarious. It's got like about 99.9% of the jokes hitting, and that's impressive for a movie with this many jokes. The action is spot on. I love the fight scenes. The characters are great. I love how they all evolve and stuff. I mean, it can be a little bit cliche. Some may think it's a little bit predictable, but this is like a better version of like Breakfast Club, how it's like this coming of age movie. I really, really liked it. I was surprised. This was one of the biggest surprises of the year for me. I just thought it was awesome. This should totally get a nomination for Best Original Screenplay. It definitely won't, though. But it was just so fun to watch. Check out my full review to see how passionate I was about this movie. It is hilarious. It's so rewatchable. I really want to rewatch it. I only saw it a couple of weeks ago. I love the chemistry between the characters. And overall, this is just a superb movie. Another hilarious movie, I have The Disaster Artist, about the making behind the room. So, James Franco was amazing in this. He really embodied Tommy Wiseau. And I saw The Room like the day before watching this. So it was really cool. Like they recreated the scenes so well. Like I just love like how it's like they just like describe the relationship between them two and the themes on like friendship and stuff. And like how like not caring as much what people think, you know, just doing it all, like a little bit more for like yourself and the people you care about, not just like everybody. And it was just kind of inspiring to watch. I mean, it was a little tonally awkward at times. I didn't love how the pacing was kind of just divided between two halves instead of being like a more like fluid model. But overall, this is an excellent movie. It was really emotional, really funny, and just really interesting overall because this is an anomaly of a movie, The Room, and so it's fascinating to see how it was created. Next up, I have Call Me By Your Name, about a 17-year-old boy and a man in his 20s who have a summer fling in northern Italy. So this movie I was a little skeptical about because I heard some of the weird stuff that happens in it, and it just really delivered surprisingly. This movie is probably the most beautiful movie I've ever seen, like visually. Like it helps that it had such a great setting, but Luca Guadagnino knows how to do his shots. Like it was so nice to watch. The script was great. There was this one conversation between Michael Stuhlbarg, who plays Elio's dad, and like Elio at the end of the movie that really just tied it all together. Because the first 2/3 are a little bit slow. I mean, that's kind of the style, but I was a little bored at times. But then that final like third act brings it all together in such a powerful movie. I think of all the movies I've seen, this is definitely one of like the 5 most just like really realistic and relatable romances I've seen. Like you really feel for these characters, and you know how it feels to go through the romance like with them and stuff. It's just a really beautiful movie. I love it so much. Like, just give this movie a chance. Like, this should definitely win like a lot of awards like cinematography because it is superb. At the 5 spot, I have the only horror film on this list, Get Out, which is actually my all-time favorite horror movie. And this movie is so awesome. So I haven't seen much horror, but when I first saw this, I was really a little scared because, like, you know, I was a little nervous, but it was great scariness. But the first 2/3 of the movie feel more like a dramedy with just a little bit of like suspense to it. And like the script is excellent, so funny, and it's so just like really just like smart. Like it doesn't just talk about your average southern racist. Instead, it talks about the West Wing liberal type racist, which is what it was really about. Like the people that are like they're kind of just like fake that they like black people a lot and stuff, but it's really just like they still see like these two colors and they don't see people like integrated as much. And it was really smart. It was a little far-fetched and stuff, how like this pseudo-immortality scheme, which is this really cool sci-fi idea that Jordan Peele came up with, how it relates to it. Like I understand, but I just thought it was a little bit of a stretch. But overall, this is a really clever like horror movie, and like, they should make more horror movies like this. This is so awesome. I love the suspense. I love those slow burners because, like it's easy to do a jump scare, but to do something with real psychological horror, that's impressive. So for like really unique biopics, Tonya is the movie. This is a mockumentary biopic. So I've seen great mockumentaries like Pop Star, but this is a lot more dramatic, but definitely has some great humor. I love how the director, he'll go in these like scenes and stuff where like it's just like a regular scene, and then in the middle of it, like she'll say something, or like a character will say something to the camera and bring it back to that mockumentary style. I just love the soundtrack to this movie, like the 70s rock she listens to, and it's just so awesome. Really, like the tone is so just like structured in this movie. Like they really know what they're going for, and it delivered. Margot Robbie, in my opinion, she might have the best female performance I've ever seen in a movie. I mean, like the movie could be considered a little bit manipulative to the audience, like trying to make her like Tanya, but it is so superb. I mean, like this, like rarely does a movie make you feel bad about like what you did, or like what you like this movie just made me feel bad for myself and like society for like always painting like as this one-sided issue. Like I always thought of Tonya Harding as like the person who like orchestrated this entire thing, but she's a lot more vulnerable, and like you really feel bad for her. Like you sympathize. This movie was outstanding. It has a great theme on perspective. Really check this out. This is unique and superb. Number 3, I have The Man Who Invented Christmas, my favorite biopic of the year, and one that I find insanely underrated. So this movie, I don't know why it's not getting any Oscar talk. When I first saw it, I saw an early screening of it. I did a review. You can check out it on my channel. And I was like, whoa, this is like the new Christmas classic. This is like It's a Wonderful Life. It, like almost as good as that. Like it's a lot, like maybe the criticism is a lot like Christmas Carol and its message, but it's an amazing message about being a good person, being a selfless person. It's beautiful to watch. It's almost like a tearjerker how beautiful it is. I love how like the parallel between like Scrooge and like Charles Dickens. I think Dan Stevens should have been nominated for this. Christopher Plummer should be nominated. Script should be nominated because it's actually really funny also, which can make it like not as much time to resonate the drama sometimes, but like it's so dramatic. It should be nominated for Best Picture, but it's not going to be, obviously. This movie, it's so awesome. I love the director, how he like made like all the imaginations, like the figments of his of Charles Dickens' imagination for the characters. It was just so fun to watch. I was worried if it was going to be more like In the Heart of the Sea or more like Finding Neverland, which is actually my top 10 movies of all time. And it was a lot more like Finding Neverland. This is an amazing movie. Please check it out. Don't let like just like the not buzz fool you. This is spectacular. At the 2 spot, I have a movie that's been hyped up a lot, The Shape of Water. And boy did it deliver. This movie just blew me away. I mean, there's so little like cons to it. Like there's a little bit of like unnecessary nudity that like it was like try a stylistic choice, but I wasn't too fond of it. And they could have given a little bit more for like the monster to do like as character, but he wasn't really there for that. It was really about like Sally Hawkins' character, like the main character, like Eliza. And this movie, it was just visually stunning, like just from the opening sequence of like the water. Like just I don't know how he filmed some of this, like the whole like lenses, how he made them like in the 50s setting, like with it was just spectacular. This movie has such great themes on just like what it is to be human, like humane, not just like being a human being. Like the characters were spectacular. There's so many layers. I wish Michael Shannon should be nominated for like supporting actor. I thought Richard Jenkins was awesome. Sally Hawkins was great. I don't know how Three Billboards won Best Drama over this at the Golden Globes because I hate Three Billboards, and this was amazing. This movie went by so fast because it was fast-paced and awesome. Just a great love story and really, really unique. I don't know. This movie is so awesome, and I just can't believe it lived up to the hype. It's so great when a movie lives up to hype, and this one sure did. And at number 1, drum roll please, my favorite superhero movie of all time, Logan. This is so just spectacular for a superhero movie. It defies the genre. This is like a western, and like the movie I would compare it to the most is Unforgiven, which is one of my favorite movies, and this was even better. This movie like has so little wrong with it. Like the villain was a little weak, but that's not the point of it. The point is how Logan like evolves as a character. Patrick Stewart did amazing. I think Hugh Jackman should be nominated. Patrick Stewart should be nominated. I think this should be screenplay nominated. Best picture, cinematography. Like this is the best action sequences I've ever seen in a movie. They were spectacular to watch. I'm so glad they made it R-rated because the blood and stuff was just, it was insane to watch in theaters. You can watch my full review, but this movie, it's like a road trip movie. I love like how like the little girl like just like makes Logan like into like a better person and stuff, and provides like meaning in his life. The movie is about family and stuff, which was a popular theme with superhero movies this year, and was just really emotional. This is a tearjerker for the end of the film, and it's just not like your average superhero movie whatsoever. Like it's so sad that this is being like overlooked at so many of these award shows, because this is by far my favorite movie of the year, and probably in my top 25 movies of all time. So there's a good chance a movie you loved this year didn't make this list. So here's a list of all the movies I've seen from this year, ranked, to show you just like, so you know what movies I've seen this year. So like, no, I haven't seen Lady Bird, so that's not why that's not on this list. You can see all of it right here. I've seen over 25 movies this year. Lots of them were great. Overall, 2017 was an awesome year for movies. So thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for more rankings and other videos, especially with the award shows coming soon to my channel. So see you guys later from Film Frenzy. Bye.